So it looks like we've got a little bit of a standoff going on here as this truck's just stopped in front of this crew that was actually trying to pull out. But welcome back, guys, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting Point Marina. And now our crew is spinning tires as they're trying to get it out, but there we go. They get a little grip and are finally able to pull out. So our next crew's coming in on approach, and everybody to the dockside. 3 people, captain leaves the helm. We've got 1 off, 2 off, and 3 off with no lines in hand. Nobody grabbed a line. So there we go, the guy in the bow grabs one, and one gets tossed to the lady on the stern. But man, all 3 of them left. Nobody bothered to grab a line to try and get this thing tied up. And our next crew comes in on approach, and they're gonna go ahead, make the turn to port, and try and come back around. So we've got 2, I guess, fenders, if you want to call them out. I guess that's more than we see from most people down here, so I gotta give him some props on that. Comes in bow first. Our guy's got a line in hand. Brake checks it, gonna bounce off the dock. He winds up stepping off, but the stern is kicking out. So quickly trying to wrap it around. We're gonna come forward into the dock one more time, bounce off again, and there we go, get the toss. Oh, nice catch. I thought he was dropping that one for sure. It looked like it was coming up just short as she was tossing the line. In just the last second, he was able to snake it out of the air, and they're gonna get this one pulled over. Crew's coming in here, nice slow roll approach, taking it easy as they approach the dock. So it looks like we're gonna go for the starboard side dock, and Cap's kind of giving some instructions, asking Wifey to step to the stern of the boat. So here we go, she's coming to the backside. This Cap's gonna try and get him in. Got a little wake action going on. It looks like somebody rolled through a little fast, and now the stern's kicking out on him. Cap's got to figure something out here. No, that's not the right direction, as the stern's really kicking around now. He's about to spin this thing all the way around right here on the dock. And there we go, brings it back over. So he goes for the pole grab. She pushes off with her foot, and that's going to kick the stern back out. She quickly steps onto the dock, but leaves without a line, which has kind of been the theme today. So she's just holding on. Cap's gonna leave the helm now, and I guess try and find the lines. And there we go. He's even gonna leave without connecting it first, though. And leaving just the kids in the boat with no lines attached. Probably not always the best idea, but they'll be all right here, and they'll be able to get this one wrapped up. And our crew's starting to pull the boat out. And they're being told to stop by somebody on the dock. One of the girls that's with them, you can kind of see him through the bimini top here, is telling the driver to stop for some reason. And he finally comes to a stop, and another one of them comes running up to the truck. Hard to see from this angle. Sometimes we're filming from the other side where we might have a much better shot of this. But exactly what's going on. But both the girls have told him to stop for some reason. Oh, I can hear it dragging. The trailer's dragging is what it sounds like. Yeah, you can hear the trailer scraping on the ground. And not much you can do in this situation. You're gonna have to just rip it off like a Band-Aid and get it to a high enough point where the trailer's off the ground. And I can still hear it creaking as they're going, and it looks like he's gonna stop here. And probably go back and assess the situation. But they should be at a high enough point now that I got to imagine they should be good to go from here, unless there's just stuff hanging down under the trailer. So after a couple minutes of assessing and kind of taking a look over it, our guy's heading back to the truck, and I guess is satisfied enough to try and pull this out. So he's back into the truck. Let's see how they do as they come forward. I'm curious to see what the situation is. If sometimes there'll be little poles that'll be hanging from underneath the bunks off the trailer that are lower than the bottom of the trailer, and I'm wondering if that's what was happening, if that was what was dragging, or if the trailer itself is just set too low. Like he needs an adjustable hitch and raising it up a little bit. But this one's a catamaran, and we typically don't see that bunk hanging underneath on the catamaran trailers. They're a different kind of setup. I don't see anything hanging down, so it looks like it was just low, but even looking here, it doesn't look like it was set up all that low. It's just a little lower than the bumper, but maybe he was just barely scraping. And here we go, another crew coming in. At least they're getting lines on the ready. So hopefully this crew won't leave the boat without lines like we've seen so many people do already today. So our young lady, she's got one on the bow, getting it set up on the stern as Cap goes in and makes his approach. Always got to be careful standing on the swim deck. We see this far too often down here at the ramps. Well, she's not standing. I'll actually give her props on that one. Staying low is a good idea. Cap brake checks it in as he comes in on the starboard side, and we see the stern kick around. He winds up smacking the bow of the boat a little bit, just lightly, as he approached the dock. But she's got a line in hand, ready to roll. And I'm trying to figure out if the guy in the bow, I guess, is the one who's going to be leading. So here we go. Back toward the dock, he grabs the line, but the stern is slowly kicking out on him. Trying to walk it up to get the stern back over. She grabs onto the pole, winds up having to let go. And now she pushes off of the pole, which is going to kick the stern out a little further. I guess they're trying to walk it up a little bit. I mean, she could easily loosen up on the line and get one of the poles, just toss it right around the pole. And man, he's going to tighten down that bow line. And here we go on the stern. Now it's really going to kick out. And Cap was going for the pole grab, winds up missing. But they're going to have to use power to bring this one back around now. So he ties the line. But again, they're way off. There we go. Cap's going to start reversing that stern back in. Use a little power to get it over. And that should be good enough for them to get this one buttoned up. And speaking of getting it buttoned up, we're going to go ahead and button up and get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got Boats versus Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.